This is the last video in a series of 4 about the improvements I've made to my portable workshop. I'll showcase everything this versatile homemade tool can do with some practical examples. It's been almost 7 years since I made the portable workshop. There's nothing better than using a homemade tool for years to find small errors that are impossible to spot while you're designing it on the computer. This design is perfect for small spaces such as a garage where you want to keep your car and at the same time do small DIY projects. When closed and up against the wall, the cabinet is only 82 centimeters deep and 54 centimeters wide. I fitted 2 wheels in the back so that I can move it easily. To open the 2 folding tables, first we must have the key to the lock on hand. This way we can safely store our power tools inside the cabinet. When open, the cabinet is 140 centimeters wide. After all these years, the board has stabilized and the folding tables have gone a little lower. In order to make them level again, I have to stick a strip of edge banding on the bottom frame of each folding table. I've also used PVC edge banding to adjust the height of the table tops. This is an animation of the 3D SketchUp model included in the plans available on my website. The tool has 3 main functions: a table saw, a jigsaw table, and a router table. I've posted a specific video for each of the 3 functions on my YouTube channel. I'll leave a link to the playlist in the description of this video so that you can easily find them if you're interested in finding out how I made the modifications and improvements to my portable workshop. Now I'll show you the first and most obvious function of this tool. I've installed an inverted circular saw to use as table saw. Back in the day, I made a recess in the bottom of the bench top to insert the base of the circular saw, allowing for easier installation. With this circular saw and a 235mm blade, I can get a cutting height of around 17mm. This is the saw fence. In the first video, I showed how to make some improvements, such as this cursor and a new blade alignment system. This is a simple, easy-to-build fence, which is perfect for this kind of homemade table saw. This design also includes a simple crosscut sled. I think it's enough for this kind of saw too. If you want something more precise and versatile, on my website you'll find the plans for the sled with adjustable inserts I made for my last mobile workbench. You can make more types of cuts more accurately. You only need to adapt the sled sliders to the miter channel of your portable workshop. Along with the fence, I can use this tenon jig. I only have to insert it into the fence and make the required cuts after holding the workpiece with a clamp. The plans also include a plywood miter gauge. I can use it to make angled and cross cuts. Nowadays on the market, there are fairly affordable miter gauges that you can use with this saw to achieve more accurate cuts. The next function is the Jigsaw Table. It's made up of a guide with bearings to keep the blade firm and square when cutting. I've designed a fast locking system for the jigsaw. This way I can continue using it as a handheld saw in a matter of seconds. With this saw, I can make curved cuts as long as they aren't too narrow. I can also make other kinds of cuts that are impossible with a bend saw. By attaching an extra long 150mm blade, I can cut up to a height of 70mm. If the blade is sharp, you can see it can easily cut through hard birch plywood that's 54mm thick. Another interesting option is using the fence with a jigsaw table. This allows me to cut tenons and make other kinds of straight cuts. Here I can also use the miter gauge to make crosscuts, angled and non-through cuts. Finally, I'll show you how to use the router table. Together with the saw table fence, I can do almost all kinds of router projects, only limited by the power of these small routers. I can also use the usual accessories for this kind of router, such as a miter gauge or feather boards. The lifting system allows me to tilt the router up to 50 degrees to get the most out of my bits. Another interesting function is that I can swap the front panel to use other routers with different colors. I can also attach a drill fitted with a collar. This is interesting because it lets me use any drill accessory in the portable workshop, such as sanding drums. In these shots I took before mounting the lift system on the cabinet, you can see how easy it is to operate, lift and lower the router, tilt it or change the panel. Who is this tool for? I think it's perfect for someone who doesn't do big projects and who likes making their own tools. Someone who's looking for something economical and who wants to get more out of their circular saw, jigsaw, and router, and who doesn't have a particularly big workspace. That's all for today. I hope you liked the video and thanks for watching it until the end.